The Maya land rights case. It's a legal odyssey that started 10 years ago, and today both sides closed the chapter when they had their last hearing before the CCJ. We'll tell you what happens next. And the hangar. It's a favorite swimming spot for city residents, but it was recently closed off to cars. Some said it was so that area residents could snatch up the precious seafront property. Tonight, the Ministry of Natural Resources says that is DED. Plus, accused of triple murder former cop Elmer Nat took the stand in his own defense today. We'll tell you what he said. Also, retired career cop Edward Broster takes a different kind of stand to force his neighbor to stop flooding his yard. Plus, we'll tell you how you can help the victims of Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica and Cuba. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Thursday, October 30th, 2025. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Crank.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westbell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality, locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly. And just overall, their service is excellent.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you've never been in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 socks and 1 shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC, they blow hard. If you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
The next time you are passing creative marketing at 146 corner of East Collette Canal and Alenby, don't be shy. Come on in.
Welcome to Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
We offer services like graphic designs for logos or banners or any other special request. Get designs printed on t-shirts for sporting events, special events like birthdays, or for your business. Get your polos or dress shirts officially embroidered with logos or business names. For special requests, our sewing department can get you fixed up with custom preferences. Our in-house name brands like Eliani's Collection produces uniform dress shirts and blouses For work or school, our Z-Tech Sportswear produces fisherman shirts and dry fit polos for males or females. Ask about other items. In other departments, we produce customized banners and fin feathers. At Creative Marketing, there's so much more. So next time you're in need, come take a look. Call us at 207-2023, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Creative Marketing, where everything is possible.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years. Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The long legal odyssey of the Maya customary land rights case has concluded in the courts. Today, 10 years after the CCJ upheld the Supreme Court judgment establishing customary Maya land rights, that court witnessed its final compliance hearing. It culminated with a draft bill proposal presented by the government's side. This bill will now be dissected by a review panel before making its way to the House of Representatives. They're aiming for next summer, but even that seems like a stretch, according to Government Attorney Andrew Marshall-Legg. He told us more about today's proceedings.
Well, where we are is that the court was, as you know, for the last 10 years conducting supervisory hearings, compliance hearings with the consent order, where the court supervises the steps being taken to implement the order. Well, today was the last hearing in exercise of that supervisory jurisdiction. The object of the consent order and the whole exercise was to craft and produce legislation, draft legislation, which recognizes and protects Maya customary land tenure in Belize. A draft of that legislation has been produced, and at that point, the court indicated that that would be its last compliance hearing. So today was the last compliance hearing.
Now, what happens next? Do you expect that this process of getting it to tabling at the National Assembly is still going to be extended?
There's an agreed schedule that was presented. What happens next is that the draft goes to a review panel. The review panel is supposed to comprise 2 members appointed by the government, 2 members by the appellants. And then that panel generates a report on the draft for presentation to the Cabinet Subcommittee and then to Cabinet to review and approve. Any revisions, improvements are made, and then eventually it's presented, hopefully presented to the House for consideration.
What is the deadline for presentation?
There's no deadline. There's a schedule. There's a anticipation if everything goes right when it will be, and that takes us into June 2026.
So what's in the draft bill? He explained the hybrid approach they're proposing.
The draft bill adopts the hybrid approach to sharing land and recognizing Maya customary land tenure in southern Belize. It recognizes automatically a core space for each of 41 villages in the south. And that core space, the interest is automatically recognized in it, means that land once recognized can never be bought or sold again and will be available to those villages in perpetuity. It also allows for each village to apply for even more lands, but the additional lands that you apply for, you will have to show that you've used and occupied it for 30 years in order to gain title to it, title to the interest in it. So we call it a hybrid approach because it allows for automatic registration up to a certain limit, and that limit has been measured by reference to 5 acres per person. It's not that every person gets 5 acres. It's a total space that belongs to the whole of the village. So a village of a population of 1,000 people would automatically be entitled to 5,000 acres. You can't recognize the interest in any less than that. It can only be more than that. And then it's more than that to the extent that you can show you're actually using lands outside that for that period of time. And that's the scheme that's been adopted and presented. Now the details of that can be fleshed out any of a number of ways. And I expect that process to start now with a view to see how you can make it better. The idea is to find the best way possible of sharing this finite space among Belizean peoples, Belizean brothers and sisters.
The panel consists of Dr. Louis Zabaneh and Dr. Osman Martinez representing the government, and Stephen Anaya and Moriara Gracie representing the Maya Leaders Alliance. For 2 months, 12 planters blocked off the 3 streets leading to the hangar area in Belize City. That's Eve Edward Street, St. John, and St. Luke Streets. But this past Saturday, those planters were removed after a disgruntled resident filed a suit against the City Council for improperly closing the street. According to the law, if the council wants to close off a particular street, it must be gazetted 4 times, and residents should have the opportunity to give the council their input on the proposal. That wasn't done in this case, and the council conceded so far. But there are reports that there is a larger issue with the seafront property, particularly that the closure is part of an attempted land grab, and that's why it was blocked off. When asked, the City Council cited a petition that was brought to them in 2022 that was signed by the residents who live near the area. Those residents have issued a joint statement to clear up allegations of any suspect motives for the petition. According to the statement, their concerns stem from years of safety, environmental, and quality of life issues. It says, quote, these have included frequent disturbances such as loud music, drug use, public intoxication, littering, including broken bottles and used condoms, blocked driveways, vehicle collisions into residences' fences, robberies by knife, illegal gun activity, and murder, end quote. They also add that they fear that due to severe coastal erosion and rising sea levels, within the next 5 to 7 years, the seawall will ultimately cover that area and reach their front gates. That's why after a rejected proposal from the City Council in 2022, they made a request to the Lands Department to subdivide and acquire the land to privately invest in the reconstruction of the seawall and manage the area. However, that was not approved. A statement from Natural Resources Today says an application was made, but it was, quote, instantaneously deemed to be a non-starter and never made it for consideration by the Land Utilization Authority. The area of land which was the subject of the said application is owned by the government of Belize. There are no applications with the ministry for lease or purchase of the said area of land. End quote. So, that's the end of that. But the residents say, though, their requests from the Lands Department was rejected, they still remain committed to working with them and the City Council to protect the area. And so while it remain much of public land, will it remain open to the public? Reports say that depends on the feedback from the public. The city plans to bring back the planters and close the area to vehicles. We'll take a break now. When we come back, Elmer Nass' cousin takes the stand. We'll tell you what he said in his own defense. Plus, we'll talk to the Chief Environmental Officer about a controversial development on San Pedro. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Remember, not all light bulbs are created equal. Our lighting department offers a wide assortment of light fixtures and accessories to suit your style. So stop in today and get the right illumination for your homecation. And don't forget your B-Box when you make a purchase. Benny's, quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Belize, we're counting down to Reggae Dutch and Friends. All Black Affair, Sunday, November 2nd at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, featuring international reggae superstar Dwayne Stevenson.
Bless love Belize, this is Dwayne Stevenson from Augustown. On the 2nd of November, I'm asking you to come out and join us. Reggae Dutch and Friends is the event. And I Dwayne Stevenson will be passing through with some big bad tune, you know what I say?
Miami's best, Dirty Decks, along with Belize's top DJs and sound system. Get your tickets at these locations, sponsored by
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years. Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
I'm Randolph Friesen and I manage Westville Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly, and just overall, their service is excellent.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The triple murder trial for Elmer Nah continued today with his cousin Amin Nah taking the stand as his alibi witness, which also brings to an end the trial within a trial. His cousin testified that he and Elmer were at Nah's house when they heard the gunshots go off in the neighborhood. After that, they continued to socialize, and Nah went inside to get his headlight so they can go outside to the back and check on his chickens, his cousin said. After putting his son to sleep, he then went outside to look for Nah, and that's when he saw 3 police officers outside the house searching for Nah. During the cross-examination, Prosecutor Terrence Williams questioned Nah's cousin whether it was the first time he saw Nah's headlight, and he said no. The judge is now expected to rule on the trial within a trial before the end of December 2025. We've all heard of disputes with neighbors over land filling, which caused flooding in adjoining yards. Well, today one city resident had enough of it with his neighbor, and that's Edward Broster, retired cop and aspiring politician. In an act of something approximating to civil disobedience, he went to block the sand trucks entering his neighbor's yard. There's more.
Having exhausted all his options, Edward Broster, the UDP caretaker for Belize Rural Central and resident of the Northern Estates subdivision, found himself in a disagreeable position this morning and turned to direct action. Broster says his concerns started in early September when the lot beside his house was being filled, blocking the drains. He was told a culvert would have been placed to correct this, but quickly realized that instead they left the drains backed up with clay, causing his property to flood.
When all those rains came and so forth, the whole street and the drains started to overflow. Our driveway covered with water. I video it and I sent message. I got a number for the owner, for allegedly the owner. I sent the owner videos, pictures, and I asked if he can come and place a culvert. I got no response. I called City Council, I called Ramon Menjivar, and he told me he was going to send a backhoe. The backhoe came and the backhoe dug a little bit, but not good enough for the water to flow. Because what happened, the clay congested the culvert, because the culvert ran across the street. Lo and behold, this morning I see them filling again. They fill back what City Council dug. And I said I will not allow them to put another load in there until they put down a culvert. I called Mr. Menjivar again this morning. He said he would have sent somebody out here from City Council. They have not arrived yet. But my vehicle will stay right there until we resolve this matter, because I know what they're doing right here is illegal.
And so today, a furious Broster parked his truck at the entrance of the lot, blocking the way for the dump trucks to come in and deliver landfill. And he made it known to the workers that he would not move until they placed a culvert.
I can stay here until 3 o'clock this evening, so if it will take up until that, I will stay right here until City Council come and ensure that they put a culvert down here, because when they come and they do this, they affect not only me, but all the residents that live on the street down there. And we pay our taxes. Come March, April, City Council is calling us, asking us to come in and pay our property tax and so forth. And we don't owe no property tax. So the least City Council can do is enforce the law and do their jobs.
And with a stoppage in movement and heavy equipment idling at a cost, it didn't take long for them to respond to Broster's demands, and he ended up moving, under the condition that he would supervise them to ensure that a backhoe was brought to clear the drain and a culvert installed. If not, this retired career cop says he's ready to block their path again. Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Last night we showed you the shocking and saddening video of a woman police corporal being knocked off her motorcycle by a police patrol which ran a stop sign. Well, tonight we have more information about how police got it all wrong in their police report. But was it deliberate? Jules Vasquez reports.
This is a stop sign on Dean Street at its corner with Albert. Many drivers don't properly observe it, and it has led to countless accidents at this junction. On Wednesday, October 22nd, just before midnight, police drove right through that stop sign and right into the path of an oncoming and fast-approaching motorcycle which had the right of way. It led to a major collision, launching Corporal Georgiana Bartley into the air and then crashing hard to the pavement. 7 News has obtained a copy of the police report which totally mischaracterizes the incident. It says the police mobile was traveling from South Street in a west-east direction, when actually they were a block away at Dean Street and moving in an east-west direction. Additionally, it says that they were traveling in the same direction as Bartley when she collided into their fender, which again is clearly not the case. She was traveling north-south. But one key detail in the police report is telling. It says Bartley's cycle was not registered, licensed, or insured, and that she also had no driver's license. But in compiling the report, police never once came to Channel 7 to ask for this video. Maybe they were misdirected by the wrong accident location stated in the report. But the video also shows curious behavior by at least one of the officers. While two rushed to her aid right after the impact, the constable in the passenger seat casually gets out, slowly puts on his SPU jacket, buttons it up, tidies himself up, and is in no apparent rush to step towards the point of impact. He even seems to put something to his mouth while the officer driving tries to get his attention. He stays on the sidewalk for a good while, unperturbed. The officers take 4 minutes to figure out what to do with their fallen colleague. We cannot say if they called an ambulance, but they failed to establish a scene and determined that they will position the truck to take her to the hospital in the back seat. Inexplicably, the driver turned off the lights on the pickup, leaving it facing against the flow of traffic without even hazard lights, as they put her in the back seat. They did that and spent 3 more minutes trying to figure out what to do with her motorcycle, which they eventually decided to leave on the sidewalk with one of the officers. The truck then drove away against the flow of traffic with no lights on. The police report says that Corporal Bartlett sustained a fractured right hip. Tonight, she remains hospitalized, awaiting a complex surgery for a compound fracture.
So far, police have not indicated whether anyone has been served with a notice of intended prosecution. A new development on northwestern Amberg Risky is looking to start generating controversy on the environmentally conscious island. It's for a 220-acre subdivision on the island, and the leader of the opposition has put out a statement calling for immediate and full disclosure from the Department of the Environment and the Chief Environmental Officer regarding the approval of the Silver Palms mega development on Amberg Risky, in one of Belize's most sensitive environmental zones. The project was approved in December of 2024 under what's called a limited level environmental study, which is not a full environmental impact assessment, so it does not require public consultation. Today, we asked the Chief Environmental Officer via Zoom why it got no full EAI, and he said it did not meet the legal threshold for that scale of development that would warrant an EIA. He explained that process that led to its approval, which they first started to review in January of 2024.
But it speaks to the sensitivity of the area. It speaks to the vegetation cover in terms of stunted mangrove growth, littoral forest. It speaks to the geology and soil type in terms of having high bedrock within the area. And it speaks to, for example, all the potential impacts that could be created from this project, such as pollution, habitat destruction, and these type of things. And so we consider all of these issues. And again, the committee believe that the impacts that were identified within the limited level studies are avoidable and mitigatable. And so the ECP that we prepared for this document has strict conditions under which the developer should undertake the project, right? And so that we have the least amount of negative impacts on the environment.
What are you able to say about the concerns raised by the Fisheries Department, very specific concerns, and how those were handled?
Yeah. So the Fisheries Department was involved from the onset. And to be honest with you, from the beginning, they had suggested that because the area is within a sensitive area and because it borders the Hulchan Marine Reserve, they had requested that EIA be done. And again, I can't arbitrarily decide. So the way we screen project and the way we determine when an EIA is required is based on the law, right? It's based on schedules within the law. And our response to them was that the project clearly falls within Schedule 2 of the EIA regulations, and therefore a limited level should be required rather than an EIA. And
were these adequately addressed, or was there a rush to approve the project, maybe because of some external pressure, maybe external political pressure, maybe they are well-connected investors, that sort of thing? Was there caution thrown to the wind so that some investor could get their satisfactory outcome?
Well, no, I explained earlier the time frame in terms of the time it took, for this project to be processed. And really and truly, I have never experienced significant political pressure in terms of the decisions that I need to make as the Chief Environmental Officer. I don't receive significant political pressure from any minister in relation to these projects. These projects are assessed, processed, and decisions are made solely on the information that is provided within the reports. And again, it is based on guidance and recommendations from senior people within government in relation to having some level of permitting authority or responsibility over these projects.
At any point were corners cut to please a well-connected investor or somebody who have strings per se?
The answer is no.
The UDP has demanded, quote, the immediate release of all documents related to the Silver Palms approval, a public explanation from the Chief Environmental Officer, and a moratorium on any further work until a full EIA is done and shared publicly. The Belize Red Cross is joining forces with its partners in Jamaica and Cuba to assist in relief efforts to the many thousands affected by Hurricane Melissa. The storm's total death toll is now 44, 19 of those in Jamaica. And there are thousands in shelters in need of supplies, food and clothing. But the logistics to get these items to them are rather costly to ship, and so the Red Cross is asking for only monetary donations. We spoke to their Director General today, and she gave us more details on their fundraising efforts.
Well, as we all know, this was a Category 5 hurricane that hit Jamaica. And imagine it's just like you could almost say on the heels of Beryl that hit them last year. Unfortunately, it really devastated the breadbasket of the country. So many farms were destroyed. You know, St. Elizabeth getting the brunt of it. It's just catastrophic what they went through. What we know, because communication lines are down still, I believe. They are just trying to work on getting up electricity to most of, at least to most of the country. So we have not really been able to communicate with the National Society, the Red Cross National Society there, but our international federation has been in communication with their people that have been sent over to support. We know that at least 6,000 people had to take shelter. I'm sure that many more were evacuated and must have gone, in other areas for shelter. We saw it necessary to launch an emergency appeal asking our people in Belize to please support. Every little copper, every little dollar counts. These people need food, they need clean drinking water, they need household items, they need health, access to health, they need hygiene materials, they need cash to try and put their lives back together. The Red Cross is asking for cash mainly because it's the easiest thing to get to the people that really need. Of course, the most affected will receive support from to get it there.
If you live in Belize City, you might have already gotten your meter switched out for a smart meter. These meters record and transmit electricity usage data in real time. However, there have been complaints by some residents that their electricity bill has increased since the change. As the BEL chairman explained, electricity usage fluctuates with the weather even if additional appliances or devices are not being used. He added that the smart meters are necessary to ultimately use solar energy. Here's how he explained it.
The meters aren't the issue. The meters just measure the use of power. There's nothing wrong with the technology. The technology is proven and is superior to the technology that exists now. So it's like introducing a new 2025 car and everybody is telling you that my 2010 was cheaper to operate. Well, we know that's not so. It's not so. If your bills are higher, it's more than likely because you're using the additional power. We get complaints constantly around those lines. How can I be using additional power? It's my same fridge, my same light, same day. Yes, but the outside temperature of the day is different. And when the temperature of the day is different, that same fridge uses more electricity to maintain the same temperature. You can't gauge it like that. You need to understand what's happening. In fact, BL is now offering a services where we can go into your house and audit the use and find the appliance that's drawing the power, measure each of them, leave equipment in your house and tell you where it's going. The use of the smart meters is one of the building blocks for the rolling out of DG and solar, which the PUC presses every time it makes a statement, it cannot be done without this infrastructure. This infrastructure is necessary to enable those technologies to be taken advantage of by the system as a whole. This is what will enable you to put rooftop solar and for an appropriate charge or credit to be given for power flowing one way or the other. These meters will be able to do that kind of thing. That's one of the reasons why the meters are being introduced, but it also has many other features to manage demand, in that it has an internet connection and the data is relayed back to the data center immediately, so that we don't have to send anybody to read meters. I don't have to send anybody to cut off your service either. I'll be able to do it remotely from wherever you are. The meters are an advance in technology. They are needed given the demands that are placed on the system by consumers, the kind of service you want. This is what is required. There's no doubt about that. I believe Belize City was first. I don't know where it moves to next. We're focusing on the high-use centers, and your high-use centers are Belize City, the middle of the country, and the islands.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, the true face of domestic violence. What does a woman do when she runs out of options? We'll talk to one when we come back. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize, we're counting down to Reggae Dutch and Friends. All Black Affair. Sunday, November 2nd at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot. Featuring international reggae superstar Dwayne Stevenson.
Blessed love Belize, this is Dwayne Stevenson from Augustown. On the 2nd of November, I'm asking you to come out and join us. Reggae Dutch and Friends is the event. And I and Dwayne Stevenson will be passing through with some big bad tune, you know what I'm saying?
Miami's best, Dirty Decks, along with Belize's top DJs and sound system. Get your tickets at these locations, sponsored by
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corzal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We've seen 5 femicides this month, and for the past few nights, we've been speaking with social violence expert Dr. Herbert Gale about it. But tonight we have another view, and it's one that is much more immediate. Today we spoke with a survivor of domestic violence who has run out of options. She has a 5-year-old child and is speaking out in hopes of getting some assistance to take care of herself and her child. She gave us some insight on what life has been like for her after choosing to leave her abuser, and it has not been an easy route, but one filled with obstacles and uncertainty. Jo Marie Lanza has this story.
For the ones who managed to make it out of the abuse alive, finding a means of independence is an even bigger challenge for some women, especially if your ability to work has been compromised due to severe physical injuries, like a broken foot. That's the reality for this woman who came by our studio today. She says her former partner broke her foot, and when she tried to follow up with the case, she claims that she was not informed of the court dates.
When I end up do find a way out, I gone to after the last beating, after my foot broke, I gone to the police station in Mango Creek and gone to DVU, and I explained to them the situation and stuff. And I end up had to get relocated for contact therapy at Carl Hushina Hospital. And from then I had the case in front of the court. And up to now, from then I don't get no call about none of the court cases or nothing like that. Not even from through women's department. The last message I get from the caseworker, she told me that she may call the police and check about the court dates because I alone remind about the court and stuff, and I don't get back no reply up to today. I called the court this morning for check say about the cases, and they told me that the case that me yesterday and that the young man get his disclosure yesterday. So I asked them how I don't know about that, or I don't get no call from the DPP or nobody. So the lady said she had checked into it and she had called me back, and up to now I don't get no call.
But Herrera has bigger problems to contend with, moving around on crutches and having to find the means to care for her 5-year-old daughter, especially given that she is unemployable at the moment because of her leg.
Then I take lick dealing with my baby because I got a fracture that my upper thigh, so I can't move on it, which I have to do a lot because I have to take care of my baby, make sure he reach school. Then with women's department, then I talk about stop pay the rent in November. End of this month, yeah. So I live out month than November, which I can't work. I can't do nothing because nobody no one hire because of the position I still the approach and my foot broke. So I need a lot of help with my daughter and keeping a roof over for we head and keeping my baby with me and then no get take away. And that's the main thing I fight for.
Having basically no independent financial needs, Herrera is still in need of therapy, which she cannot pay on her own or rely on the system to make those payments for her. She is running out of options and is tired of being given the runaround.
I did file a report. I have the case in front of the court right now, but the court case that Mango Creek, that Independence, because that day happened and that the issue.
So you have to go wait there for court?
I have to go wait at Mango Creek for court every time I court date if I want to go. And then the department, the women's department, I did deal with them, but there was a whole lot of mooching. I end up for me start take therapy, but I can't take the therapy right now because then the lady they talk about she need to see the payments for all the sessions we already pay for, where women's department said they pay for, and it look like they don't pay for it yet, so they don't want I do none of the sessions there, and I up and down the women's department. Sometimes I think then just make the situation real worse, because then why would you put me in this condition, in our dead end, in our back of nowhere, and put my daughter that was school way over the other side where I barely could manage to attend to and without a job and transport.
Those wishing to assist her can reach her at 611-1687. Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And after we spoke with Herrera, we followed up with the Women's Department on some of the claims that she made in regards to housing and support. Their Human Development Coordinator explained how they go about ensuring that each case receives the support that they need depending on the circumstances these women find themselves in.
Normally, when it comes to specific cases of support that we are giving to clients that come to the department and the ministry overall, we have a very strict confidentiality policy. However, it may seem that Ms. Tania has publicly indicated that she is working with us. So we have supported the person on multiple areas. Like many cases that we deal in terms of domestic violence, gender-based violence cases, each case is very different. We work with each client according to the needs of that person and that of the family as well. In most cases, there are children that accompany them, right? And so while there may be particular time frames at this point, a lot of them we go beyond those established time frames because we recognize that the needs that they have go beyond. So in most of the spaces, we go for more time in terms of the provision of rent, in addition to the provision of food, which are the most basic needs. As part, also we provide support for educational needs of the children. That includes if we have to provide uniform, books, and fees for them, whether they're in primary school or whether in secondary school. Those are some of the areas that we also lend support and in, for those who come to get our support.
And for those women who enter into the system in urgent need of help, but it does not appear quickly, well, that's when you hear that they reached out to the Women's Department, but were unsuccessful. We asked Williams about this perceived lag.
And it would really be important for us to know specifically which cases are those, because I can tell you in terms of managing the gender unit that responds directly to issues of GBV, whenever anyone comes to our department to request assistance, we find the best way to do that, whether it is accompaniment to court, whether it means to actually walk them over to a police station to make a report, identify housing for rent, picking up and dropping off the food because they might not be in close to where we'd normally do it. We really go out and try to do that. So if at any point anybody feels that they may not have received the support that they requested, they can request to speak with a supervisor, request to speak with the director, and in some instances, they can even go to our ministry, which is located in Belmopan, to indicate that they have not received those services.
And for the women who are displaced, it requires a collaborative effort between the department and private sector safe houses to keep them out of harm's way. Williams explained why the department doesn't have any safe houses of their own, given that there are only 3 operational ones in the country.
In terms of the work that we do with the safe spaces, these are organizations independent of government. And so we're grateful for the partnership that we've built over the years with them. And so they provide the housing itself, but we provide the additional needs, for example, the provision of food, transportation to and from. If they need medical services, psychosocial services, then we're the ones who provide. In terms of the question why government doesn't have its own, it's something that in the past we've explored. And you know, when it comes to the number of persons, it's something that we have to really look at, because a lot of times when you are in safe spaces, it really has to be a place that people are protected. And so what we're finding in terms from the experience that we have here at the department is what they actually might need more is transition homes, where they have that flexibility to leave and be able to also try and search for employment, because a lot of the persons that we do support unfortunately don't have employment. So we have to also support them through a process to gain skills if they don't have any, to identify places of employment so that they can secure a job. And even for some of the the ones that we've secured employment? Are we supported in building their businesses, a micro or medium and micro business? We also don't just cut it off at the very. We give a time frame, and then if we establish that they can manage on their own, we work with them on budgeting as well, so that they're able to manage whatever resources. But they are not cut off immediately, like what the individual indicated. We have a time frame where we work with them to establish whether they're able to survive on their own without having to recourse to not providing a food for their child or their children because they have to pay rent.
And complicating matters even more is the fact that there are thousands of domestic abuse cases reported each year, and at times victims find themselves coming back for help more than once, especially after returning to their abuser. Williams say that it requires patience as human development officers try to find what works best for each client and how to safely transition them into a better life. It may take 8 tries, but she says no matter how many times they return, it does not make them less reluctant to want to help these persons.
This is the career that we've chosen. And so it does create sometimes a bit more difficulty in identifying other strategies, but we have to be there for those clients. And we have to keep on trying every single time that they come. And often we have to also help them be able to look at the safety of their own children. But we always strive for that family to be kept together, right? So no, in fact, whenever they come, we come in again. We try to identify other spaces. Sometimes what works with a particular case doesn't necessarily work with another case. And that's why every case for us has to be individually planned and it's unique. And so each case has a plan in terms of what are the things that we can do with the client. However, it is very important to understand that whatever decisions are made in terms of what happens within a case, it is not something that the social workers of the department decide on. When we work with individuals, we provide information, we provide them with the options that we are seeing, because maybe in their emotional state or in the environment that they've had, they're not able to identify and look at those options. So we do that for them, we support them, and in the end, they have to be the ones to decide what is it that they will do.
Through the Skills for the Future program under the Ministry of Education, funded by the IDB, yesterday in Orange Walk, Bishop Martin High School received 447 new Chromebooks for its students to strengthen their digital literacy skills. Here are the highlights from that event.
It gives me great pleasure to be here as we hand over digital devices to our students of Bishop Martin High School. This is not merely a distribution of tools. It is the continuation of a national transformation. Each device represents a bridge to opportunity, a door to innovation, and a key to unlocking the full potential of our young Belizeans. You heard that? It's a bridge to an opportunity, a door to innovation, and a key to unlocking the full potential of young Belizeans, you are students. Today's event is a fulfillment of our government's commitment under Plan Belize, a commitment to ensure that education in Belize is modern, equitable, and forward-looking.
Out of the 6 high schools, there is more than 6 high school, Minister. There is a lot. But you choose this one. And I'm pretty sure that all the students and the principal and vice principal is so happy that you choose Bishop Martin High School for these laptops. I'm pretty sure that these students will take these laptops and make good use of them. It wouldn't be possible without saying, with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, a support with the Inter-American Development Bank and the Global Partnership of Education, it wouldn't be possible.
On behalf of the students and staff of Bishop Martin High School, I want to express our heartfelt thank you to the Government of Belize, the Ministry of Education, the Global Partnership for Education, and the Inter-American Development Bank for this generous donation of digital devices. Today is about more than technology. It's about opportunity through the Skills for the Future initiative. We are being equipped to think creatively, learn boldly, and prepare for a world driven by innovation. Thank you for believing in us and investing in our future.
On Monday afternoon, just before 2, a fire broke out in St. Bite, leaving a woman and her 3 kids without a home. The 2 houses in the yard were completely destroyed, along with everything inside. Homeowner Alicia Castillo is now asking for the public's assistance.
I can't really say because I never made a home, I made it out. And then by the time I come out of the place where I'm there, my neighbor come by bicycle and he say, your house the burn, your house the burn. And that's so when I reach out, then I just see everything for flames. Nothing is done, gone down, no fire truck never there, nothing. When I see the 2 houses there on the ground and the neighbor house done, they start catch already. The fireman, they say that electrical problem. That's what he tell me this morning. My number is 628-9873 and I'm asking for clothes or any assistance that they can give me.
St. Mite Village is celebrating its new synthetic football field similar to Berger Field in Belize City. The shiny turf surface was inaugurated on Tuesday night, and the hope is that it will attract more visitors to the village. The Minister of Sports was there and explained more.
And this is a wonderful investment here for the community, for the country. And I'm grateful to the Coastal Harvest team for having the vision, the will, and the focus to get this done. I mean, and we did something similar to this in Belize City, and that has transformed the Vernon Street area. Now, I'm sure this is going to transform St. Bite. I mean, it's a well-built field. You could see it's synthetic. It has the safety features for it in terms of the fence, and I think the community is going to benefit tremendously from it. I could see children playing out here, young people playing out here, and all people playing out here all throughout the day. As we continue to build it out, pretty soon we can have friendly games here that will bring people into the community. We can have competitions out here that will bring people into the community, and that's what these facilities do. But they give our people the ability, the infrastructure needed for them to hone their skills and to get better as an individual, as teams, so that we can compete.
We should have a management team that will be managing the facility, and of course it comes with rental, it comes with workout sessions, payment for that, etc. And it comes in having games, and usually when you have games, you know you must collect at the gate. Usually when there's a private session, you collect from that likewise. So that in itself will create funding, thus in managing the pitch in itself. The national team of Belize is here today, the Jaguars, and their visit here today is to meet and greet with the community, giving back to the community, not only a friendly game with us, but our people, our constituents from the peninsula can meet with the national team, know who they are, and have that one-on-one bond.
And the football field is FIFA size and FIFA standard. So I show us the opportunity to start the market St. Bite as a destination, the entire peninsula, and we can even bring the players from our part of the world when they are national break to play in St. Bite. Because we have the resorts, we have the accommodation, we have everything.
And finally, tonight, it seems government is hinting at an increase in the price of sugar. A cabinet press release says, quote, Cabinet considered the pricing of regulated plantation white sugar and brown sugar for industrial products, including consideration of the freight distance in the establishment of prices, and approved the establishment of regulated prices and the removal of price control for retail labeled packaged sugar. We spoke to industry insiders who couldn't quite figure out what it means, but we should expect to see an increase in prices. We'll be seeing clarification on the announcement made this evening. And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a pleasant evening Join Miriam Abdulkawi here tomorrow, and I'll be seeing you back on Monday. Until then, have a good one.